about a drive that connects to a vision, not a drive that connects to yourself. And that's why you can easily just give excuse and walk away from it, because you didn't have a drive. You didn't see yourself building anything. We just want ready-made things ready for us to occupy and lead and talk about. This house is beautiful. This person can do this. That's the life we have fabricated for ourselves. And I keep saying that these things that we do today will not last. This building we are sitting here has been here for decades before we started using it. Look at it, it's as strong as, if you hit the walls of this building, you'll be shocked it won't fall down. Because solidity takes a lot of effort. And longevity takes a lot of effort. So you want to get something done. First, develop the capacity to make sure it's done. So all this idea of being weary, I get weary. I get tired of people. Don't you know what it takes to talk to the same person every day, and the person is not making, and the worst part is that when you speak to the person is feeling that he's doing much. And the person is doing less. The person is offended but cannot speak to you because of who you are. But the person's body language, the person's responses is showing that this person complains behind and is showing attitude. But you have to do the job. You have to go back to that same person. And the person will still make all the mistakes in his life. So what do you do at that time? You will now need the drive for the vision to make sure you do that job. So if we have the drive to do things, people's actions will not be a problem. They will always be there. Some don't even know the reasons why they're in the place. Some are there for their own interest. One day when they get it, they are. If they don't get it, they are either leaving or they are staying. So people just don't know why they are even doing anything. That's why they can't see anything to build. I've always said that if you are in a place and you are not building anything, or you're only building by instructions, I feel for you. Build something the place does not have. That is impact. Not what they tell you, handle this thing. You handle it because they said so, not because you know that you can better a team beyond the leader. Have you ever thought of bettering a team behind the leader? The leader is incompetent, but you have come and grown the system and made the leader very powerful. Very, very few persons have that kind of mindset. We're either trying to look for what to condemn and what to blame, what to excuse, and we keep living like that. We will not really make a difference in this life, because change takes a lot of drive. Change takes a lot of drive, and a lot of drive. It will go beyond you being encouraged. It will go beyond you being favored. It will go beyond you being appreciated. It's something that you must do when nothing is working, but you are still getting up to go back to do it. And that is where, if you're not assisted or assisted, it doesn't affect you. I was talking to somebody yesterday, I said, I can use a goat to fulfill a vision. I can talk to a goat and push the goat to be active. There's nobody I cannot use in this life if I want to use you. I know the right thing, I know what to tell you. And you will do what I want you to do, except I don't want to talk to you. No matter how hard you are, if I speak to you, if I get to you, I'm calling and you will come. So it's all about your personal drive and the vision attached to your life and how you want to achieve it. It's not the people are not the problem. The drive of what you want to do. And as you keep doing it, they keep seeing it, they will keep believing in it. And one day you notice that you have built a system for the future. So we need to get that straight in our spirit.
Thank you so much, sir. All right. So God's servant said that change needs a lot of drive, and that is very, very expedient to all of us. Now, this question is from a pastor in Jos Plateau. He says, "Good morning, Bishop. My name is Pastor Nehemiah Isaac, and I pastor a Redeemed Church here in Jos Plateau. I have been following your messages and I am greatly inspired. So, sir, please, my question would be, concerning one of my brother friend who is also a pastor in another ministry. He's complained to me several times, and some I have witnessed. But then I just want to ask the question to know how he can properly guide himself and not be discouraged in the service of the Lord. So the questions are would be, how do I keep serving faithfully in ministry when I feel overlooked or unappreciated? Because some of us who are younger colleagues in this ministry tend to have a lot of discouragement here serving God in the north.
So the first thing we should try to understand is who is the caller and who did he call, and what do you represent. Now, for example, if you look at the Bible and go through all the faces of these men that God used, they had one thing in common. They were sent by God. Ezekiel said they prophesied, but they were not sent. So some of the times these people are saying and doing things that they don't hear from God. So that's why I keep saying, please hear from God first. Anything that is not working is a sign that you didn't hear from God. When you hear from God, mistakes should be very minimal. If there is a struggle in the process, it's a test to your faith. And you don't build alternatives when it is a test. God is trying to test you. It's like Abraham presenting Ishmael to God when God asked him to present Isaac, because he wants to help God fulfill a promise. If he had done that, he would have lost the promise entirely. So sometimes we are trying to help God, and God is saying, don't help me. I called you, seek my counsel, get my instructions, and act on them. So when you hear from God, it solves everything. Sometimes ask questions, but go back to hear from God. Because what he says cancels every man's opinion. So let's try to hear from God. That's the most important thing. And then let's stop trying to give God what he didn't ask for. He asked for Isaac. You're giving God Ishmael. He didn't
Hello and welcome everyone to another exciting episode of Gospel Manager. Today it's the day the Lord has made and we will rejoice and be glad in it, as the psalmist says. This is our week of quality sounds, and the scripture for the week as given by our Father, God's servant, is Philippians 4:4. And it says, "Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice." The quote of the week is, "The room of rejoicing opens for immediate attention." So we are very, very confident that this new week, God and heaven will provide quality attentions for you, and the sounds you will hear this week will alleviate you and not sounds that will demote you, in Jesus' precious name. Now don't forget, you could begin now to share the link of this live stream to your friends, your family, to your social media platforms, and let people know that Gospel Manager is live. Share it to the friend who had expressed the concern to you, a friend who has relied on you for wisdom and counsel. Let them know that they could get even more profound counsel and guidance on this platform. Don't forget to send in your questions at the comment section of the social media platforms that you are streaming from. And also don't forget to send in by email at thegospelmanager@gmail.com or by Telegram and also WhatsApp at +234 9047533019. My team and I will collate the questions and share them live on this episode. I'm not alone. God's servant is live with us in the studio. I'm going to leave the floor now for him to give his opening remarks and set the course for this episode. Good morning, Dad, and welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
I'm doing a study on why do people behave wrongly for too long. Have you ever imagined why somebody would behave wrongly for a very long time? The man in John chapter 5 was 38 years old in a situation. He suffered affliction for 38 years old. So I've been looking at why do people stay too long in wrong behavior? Why would somebody not be able to reason and say this part has not really helped me? Every time I have a problem with this kind of behavior, with this kind of the way I talk, the way I approach matters, the way I take instructions, why will you not sit down to reflect? Then the Holy Spirit started teaching me and saying that it's because when people hear, they don't immediately sit down to think about it. They hear and act as one of, there is the hearing for correction, there's the hearing for construction, and there's the hearing for progression. So people just think those things I heard are one of those things I'm supposed to hear. Because if you hear and reason immediately and pick the lessons from the hearing, that is when application becomes effective. So I want every human hearing me today to know that staying wrong in a long time is a sense of you not understanding the potentials of life that you have. I smoke and somebody tells me smoking is bad and I'm still smoking. You don't know the implications of not obeying that lesson. I have a way of life that is always putting me in crisis. I'm being abused. I'm being disrespected. I have been insulted. And then the only lessons I will pick in that thing is that I am being insulted. Are you seeing the lesson? And the lesson the person is taking from that talk is I'm being insulted. The person is not telling himself or herself, why will I always be in this kind of situation? Because it's that question you ask yourself that automatically tells you how to treat the matters that brings problems to your life. And a lot of people today are feeling they are reactive instead of reasoning. You are reacting instead of you to reason. What you need at that time is reasoning, not reactiveness. Reactiveness will give you an entitlement mentality. And particularly for those of people who work in offices where they keep making consistent mistakes and they receive consistent corrections, And then they keep saying, but I'm putting my best. But you can't mark your script yourself. Your script has to be marked by the person who gave you the lines of thoughts to be able to write on. So if we are not handling things correctly, we have more people in trouble, justifying why they are in trouble, staying in trouble, and may God help you that you have people in your life who also understands that you are trying when you are not doing anything meaningful with yourself. May God not punish you with people who will sit with you and even compliment a weakness that you have and say you are trying. I don't know why you're not seeing your effort. You are finished. Because life has given you certain potentials that must be expressed. And if you're not making up your mind to hear and reason and apply, you become a victim of yourself at one time. So let's not go to the wrong path for too long. You can't be wrong in 1 year. A whole 1 year you are wrong. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Somebody is repeating an error for 10 years. Somebody is living with a mistake for 15 years. That man was afflicted for 38 years. And the problem was not affliction. The problem was that he didn't know how to respond to his situation. Jesus asked him one very basic question. Rise up and walk. He opened his mouth and said one thing. I have no man. And that's what he has been saying for 38 years. I have no man. I have no man. And Jesus forcefully dragged him out of that place. And that's what we do. We are trying to look for who to accuse instead of reasoning inward and see how we can come out of anything that limits our image. Because there are 3 things I want to end with. Your image is you, your sound is you, and your actions is you. And the people who will help you give you this image, if you don't listen to their voices, at one time you will be praying for this image to come up. And image don't rise until you prepare for it to rise. Image don't rise. And I've checked the earth. And I've been involved in leadership at the age of 19. And I can tell you, there are people who will fast and pray that will not succeed. There are people who will claim they are succeeding today that will fail tomorrow. Because there is nothing that will work, that will not prepare itself to work. Mistakes are not bought, they are earned by decisions. Mistakes are not bought, they are earned by a personal decisions. And errors are not made because somebody wished you bad. Errors are made because you yourself created an environment that will create a future that is negative for yourself. Let us build a life that if there are too many things against us, but let us not be against ourselves. If there are too many things, family background is against you because you're not from a healthy family, parents are not wealthy, family is into a lot of things, and you, by the grace of divine wisdom, detach yourself from that. Please, let us, you didn't go to school, you have a lot of deficiency, you don't have any, and you had that divine direction in your life. Please develop a system that in the next 10, 20, 30 years, you will always be grateful that you took such decisions. Because remember, what I eat today is not what I'll eat tomorrow. And what you eat tomorrow is not what you eat next tomorrow. And what you always do tomorrow is different. So, but you can be sure that if you build this path, you will always end as God has promised. This is how I want to open the curtain.
Thank you so much, sir. What a way to open this episode and the week. God's servant mentioned 2 things I like that you take out. He said your image is you, your sound is you, and your actions is you. But more to that, he said hearing is for both correction, construction, and progression. And this is how we begin to come out of lasting issues and troubles and situations when we hear right and know how to hear appropriately. There's a hearing for correction, a hearing for construction, and a hearing for progression. So with this, we're going to start with the questions from this episode. And these questions came in from an online viewer of yesterday's service. The person wanted to know Well, God's servant made a very profound statement. He said, a man who doesn't know how to hear would not know how to pray. And this is very, very, very important. So the person wants more light on that, and I know that it's also going to be a blessing to all of us.
Simple. Prayer comes by directions. It's not by you just getting up, you want to pray. You must have guidelines. So if you're not hearing properly, you don't have guidelines. You know, I feel for people who think everything works because they're involved. Everything works because you are precise. It's precision that makes things work. If you're not precise in a thing, it will not work. Though you are available, though you are working hard, it will not work because it's not availability per se, it's precision. So if prayer will be answered, then what did you hear? Something will motivate you to pray. So if you don't have any motivation, you will just be praying randomly. So if prayer will be answered, there will be direction for prayer to be answered. And until you get that direction, you just be praying randomly and there will be no result because specifics is what bats results. So if you're not specific in anything you do, you see this thing about people being pushed to do things, sometimes I am feeling very bad for them. They are pushing you to do things. Every time you are being told to do something. I feel very disappointed for that person because you do understand how life is run. Life is not sitting right on the table. And no, that's not life. Life is very deep. It's so deep that I have been in a situation where in the house where I'm living, which is inside that building, feasting. I was staying there until I drove there. Life is deep. So you don't leave it anyhow. So you must understand that specifics is very key to prayers. What you don't hear, you can't pray about. You just be praying what others are praying. You be doing corporate prayer like others are. That's why when you are praying, you are tired. You're feeling as if you are being forced to pray. You didn't hear anything. Okay, if somebody writes you later now, man of God, I'm coming to, not you now, destroy you in 2 hours. Will you be sleeping? Why are you awake? That information keeps you awake. It will make you pray. It will make you fast. And that's what I'm saying, that if you want to get effective prayer life, then keep hearing right. Something nobody has ever heard. And you keep using it as a breather point to pray, you have more result in your personal life than any other person in this world. But when we are not hearing, you see yourself very nonchalant to do everything. Everything you are looking pressure to do it. Your whole body language is telling that this thing, I don't want to do it. But you don't just have a choice. It's a very irresponsible way of behaving. And people keep doing that to themselves. Even a child in the house who is not corrected will not do well. How much more prayers? So let's understand things work because we understand how it works. And prayer can be very effective if a man hears well. Through scriptures and through the voice of God. And you'll be very effective.
Thank you so much. That brings so much clarity to that question. And God's servant, at the course of the message, also said that your life will depend on how quick you listen. And so even in prayers, God may give you directions on how to get that answered prayer, but if you are not prompt to hear what he said, you may miss that opportunity. Now, I want to let you know that you could go back to that message, the full message, the pathway to Rehoboth, where God's servant also identified the 5 curses we must break before Rehoboth. It's on his YouTube page at Maxwell Gold in Egbe. So hurry now to the platform to, I know it's going to be a blessing to you. You'll see why many Christians remain where they are. And he identified it with scriptures, scriptural backups for that message. And it's going to be a blessing to you. God bless you as you do so in Jesus' precious name. Now we'll move over to the next question. And this one came from Mrs. Nelson Jonathan. She said, good morning, Bishop. Sir, please, I would like to ask this question that I have observed in many relationships and even in mine. Please, sir, how can we cope with a partner whose habits consistently hurt the relationship and marriage?
is one of the things that I am praying to help people from is inner strength to treat yourself. The level of infancy I see in people today is high. You know, I study conversations a lot, and I study body language. And these are the two things that I said, if I was not a pastor, I'm grateful that God gave me a calling, because it's what has brought me to where I am today. If I was not a pastor, there are certain people who will not have conversations with me. It's not pride, it's not anything, but I would have had these irritational actions over a lot of people. Because, you see, if you don't want to develop we live in an environment where people think people are our problems. People are our problems. Everybody is your problem. You have a reason why you did certain things. Your attitude is because this person acted like this. I have changed because this person. I am no more like this because this person. And we keep doing that. And we are carrying that to every phase of our lives. If you check in the church, it is in the church. In marriages, it is there. In the attitude of men towards the things they do, it is there. So when you see somebody keep repeating a damage that is already destroying him or her, but has refused to accept that this attitude is my problem, then you should check the capacity of the person to build from wrong to right. That ability to change is the best gift you should ever have for your life. Not the ability to defend, the ability to change from wrong to right. Immediately is what a lot of people lack today. Why will you repeat an error and then give reasons for it? I keep asking that question. Why will you repeat? Have you ever asked, why will you repeat an error? Why will you sit down? You have senses. You are an adult. You claim to be an adult. And to cap it, or you are even married with a wife or with a husband, and even with children. And why will you make an error that you know is a mistake? This thing is not right. It's going to damage the next man's who is close to me. And you repeat it again. Go again. Go again. Go again. Go again. And then you have a word for it. You say, I did it because that is the way I felt at that time. See, the problem the earth has today is not a demonic problem. It's a mental situation that is affecting people and ruining the real fabric of the existence of man. Somebody just comes and says, this thing you're doing is not good. Change it. The next thing you repeat it again. It's just simple. You don't have the strength to change. You are waiting for circumstances, then change. And so in that state, the person should know that God should give you people in your life who are remorseful enough to say they are wrong. People are not remorseful anymore. Who can just say, this thing I did, but it's bad. I didn't talk well. And the next time the person comes, he's not talking well. And making sure he does not repeat that error. See that thing? It will save you from a lot of problems. A lot of... You know why my life is peaceful? I reason a lot. I go back to my actions. And I correct myself. I correct myself a lot. If they keep anybody now, I correct myself more than anybody in this life. I can't make a mistake twice. If I did, then I will accuse myself of something. So when you are not in that room where you can learn, and they use the word unlearn, but I don't like using that word. You can learn and reason and recheck yourself, correct yourself, then you will not help a relationship. Even a young woman who is feeling she has a right to do whatever she likes. When you leave that kind of attitude that you have a right to do whatever you like, then you shouldn't keep a relationship. You should stay single for the rest of your life. Because the first culture of being a wife is to listen to your father at home and respect the brothers within you. That's the culture of being a wife first. And the first culture of being a husband is to submit yourself to parenting as a boy or guidance as a man. So you should be able to have the control and temper to deal with a woman and not become a slave to a woman. And become a yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. You go home, the woman is scratching your back. You're vomiting everything about that happens to you to a woman. She's now encouraging you. You say, okay, because of you. That's a stupid man. Because you are not trained for it. You see marriage as a privilege instead of seeing it as a responsibility. You see everything happens to you as if you are the one who needs it. So people who came around, they are helping you. Because you are not trained for that thing, and that's why it's like that. But if you build an inner strength, and the inner strength is not when you show power, it's when you repent. Repentance is the most strongest thing you must have. Be able to repent from an error. And don't care who will laugh at you. Don't care who will talk about it. But you know you have done what you have to do to be right. And then when you keep doing that to yourself, you can easily keep a relationship for the rest of your life. But if you don't have that thing, you will divorce. Because the day that person stops encouraging you, you have issues. You look for some other person. So let's be careful. Some of the things we call right today, they are wrong approaches to relationships. They are wrong. I have been around here for a while. I've seen people who married and then the man was washing the woman's clothes. The day the man stopped, there was crisis. Because I keep saying it. Build a pattern that will not disrupt you. Not a pattern that when it stops, it destroys your life. Today we are building patterns we cannot sustain. Some of the things we are doing today, we can't sustain them. Can you do certain things in 20 years of your life? You cannot. But you are doing it for 6 months. And then your whole world is tied to a 6 months habit. So let's understand that that relationship can survive if the person desires to repent and reason and say, these things are wrong, I'm going to change from it. And you do it fast. You don't need a meeting, a dialogue to change. You sit down and say, why am I always behaving like this? Why am I hearing the same corrections 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? In a relationship that I'm supposed to be in love with somebody, it's always telling me certain things that I'm wrong. Instead of me being defensive and accusive, let me now be reflecting over myself and try to see how I will change personally. That decision is what makes all the difference in that mistake.
Thank you so much, sir. This one again is from Mrs. Uzoma. She said, good morning, Bishop. Please, sir, what's the best approach when a spouse is financially reckless?
Let's look at the interest of the person saying the person is reckless. Because sometimes we are saying people are reckless, but we are putting our interest first. If your interest is what is making the finance reckless, then it's not recklessness. But if you have a vision and then you believe that the money you people have can literally build that vision, then it's recklessness, and then the person is not using it right. Then all you need to do now is to always talk about the vision. Is to always provide solutions where monies can be used right. And when you keep doing that, even a foolish man will know that this person means well for my future. But if the thing is just for yourself, just for your self-hunger, every time you're fighting for something for yourself, for yourself, for yourself, for yourself, for yourself, and that's the life that I can disassociate myself with you and for your small family. So you start misbehaving up and down because you want to raise money for a family. But while life is bigger than that. So let us understand how to live it and know that self-interest should be looked at more than recklessness of money usage. So when we look at self-interest and our interest is right, we will always correct the person who is unwisefully spending monies.
So much, sir. Now we'll take this question from Pastor Nathaniel Nandozi from Owerri, Imo State. He said, "Good morning, Bishop. I've been an added follower of you since I last saw you in Salvation Ministries. But sir, please, I have this question. Owing to the current trends, please, sir, how can you deal with discouragement when your support for leaders goes unappreciated?"
You see, the problem, let's say it's a problem. If I have never been a follower, I would believe a lot of things people say. I have followed somebody, served. So I can tell you that nobody needs to encourage you to do well in a system. Except you have motives that are wrong. If your motives is right, look at me. If your motives is to sit here and say, I don't like the way this church is, I want to change it. Now you came into a system and you don't like the way things are done. I want to give myself 2-3 years, I will change everything. Will you be discouraged by what the man is doing to you? You will not see that. You are carrying the bearing of the vision of the place. So if the man is not behaving well, it doesn't concern you. David was in a system where the man was not behaving well, but he was the reason why the system was sustained. So when I hear people say they are discouraged, the leader is not, you are just not ready. You are not just somebody who has the heart of where you are. Because David's own was stretched to life. In case you are talking about it, David was threatened with life. The man was preparing to do everything to kill him. But every assignment he was given, he was the outstanding fellow in the assignment. Everything that he was asked to do, he came out the best. Even when he was threatened to be killed. So when I hear people talk about they are discouraged by people who they are serving, they don't appreciate their gift, they don't compliment them, you don't need all of that. What are you changing in the place? The man is not blind, whoever you are following. If you are doing the things the man cannot do, he will look at you and learn from you. For me, I will learn from you. You will not know. I will even call and ask you questions. I will give you more things to do for me. I'll tell you to places where I cannot send others. It is your limitations that's keeping you there. You are not seeing that you are supposed to build. The reasons why you're in that system, I can't explain why you are there. Because you can't be involved in a thing and it's not working and you are okay. The thing is not growing. You are okay. You are sitting down there. You are busy just complaining. Because that's what we do today, complain. So who will build it for you to eat from? Oh, leaving the system and going to get another job. Have you, the day that place stop treating you bad, you leave again, have you? No, let's face it. The day that place stop treating you bad, start treating you badly, of course you're going to leave. Or you leave again, on that place treat you bad, you leave. So you keep living because they treat you bad. The question is, why are you not looking at what I can build in a bad environment and make that thing bad to become good? And be the reasons why people got up on time. The reasons why places were kept. The reasons why a system grew. The reason why a system that was dying, I came into it and the thing grew. The reason why nonchalancy stopped in the place. The reason why there was a sense of vision. Because I didn't meet vision. There was a vision, but it was not clear. I brought clarity in the vision. There was no money. I brought people who gave monies. What are you doing in the system? If you are doing something, you will never need encouragement. Then you'll be feeling that they should encourage others. If you're doing something there. If you're doing something there, no, man, dear. I've been there now. I was never encouraged in my life one day because I didn't need it. I made a vow that this thing must work. I was angry when I see people going against the work. Of course, you can tell. It's my progress they are eating today. You can tell because life does not lie. It's the things I built that they own today in that house. So the problem is, remember that you are working with a man, and man will give you his own portion of attitude. But if you're a serious person, you should be changing things in a man's life, not giving him problems. That's your responsibility, to change things. So we don't change things. We create problems in visions, and then we are entitled to complain. That's how we're entitled to complain. There are things I cannot share in public. If I share in public now, those were discouragement things that happened to me, but I never discussed it. I didn't see it as a problem. How can somebody correct you that you are not doing well? It's a problem to you. Why is it a problem to you? Are you doing well? You're not doing well. You are making all kind of mistakes, and you are stupid human being as far as I'm concerned. Because you're supposed to be reasoning and say, why am I always in this kind of crisis in my place of work? And vow to improve the system where you are, so that posterity will speak of you, that when you were doing that thing, you brought a new life to it. I think that is the way to live. So what are you being encouraged for? Encouraged to do your job because the leader is bad. So what are you doing? Let's be the leader is bad. What are you doing? Was Pharaoh not bad? Was Joseph not there? I'm asking, was Pharaoh not bad? Was Joseph not there? Was Saul not bad? Was David not there?
Yes,
Who became the next king? Okay. Was Pharaoh not there? Was Joseph not there? Was there a problem? Was Pharaoh a Christian? Was Pharaoh a Christian? Was he a man of God? Was he a believer? Does he know God? Was he a juju priest? Yes. But a Christian sat there and influenced the whole nation. Your failed manners should not be somebody's accusation. That's how I end it.
Thank you so much, sir. The same question came in from Pastor Nadose, and he says, good morning, sir. Thank you for that wonderful light and wisdom. But I meant when you, the pastor, had given support to the leaders and it goes unappreciated by them.
You shouldn't bother yourself about that. People are who they are. If you're in my shoes, you should know that everything you do for man, you do to God. People are terrible. Somebody can just finish something and say, okay, I'm through here. What am I doing here? It's life. Just make sure that you are not, as I told somebody the other day, I said, I've learned not to waste my resources and time anymore. You have to learn and not to waste resources and time anymore. Because people will always be people. If I tell you the things I hear spiritually when I pray about people, you'll be shocked that I've ever assisted them before. You'll be shocked that I have ever been of use to their life. Even much more than those who give back to them. Yes. The role I have played, people who give back to them have not played it. But you can imagine how people can talk and behave even with all the sacrifices put in their lives. So just not give yourself that kind of headache. Because you will die. You will die premature. And you know, when you die premature, the first thing they will say as a pastor is that he has committed one sin, so God has left him. You understand? So, but they don't know that the pressure of being disappointed can kill a man. You know, that's what people don't know. As a pastor, when you raise people and they disappoint you, you invest your emotions in them, that can destroy you as a person. So all I would advise is that be wise in your investment and don't be foolish anymore. Because we are not supposed to be foolish anymore. We have been so foolish with people. And they have taken us for granted. And pastors need to be wise and try to study people before they invest in them. And see the work, the future of the work in people before they invest in the people. If you don't see your future, the work you are pastoring in the people, don't invest in them. Don't help the needy. We are helping the needy in church. No. Help the people who will help this work tomorrow. That's the most important thing. Because you can't tell me you invested with somebody, the person went to school and graduated and came back and now has a life and feels you help them because it's church. That's a wasteful environment. That's a wasteful investment. It's like they are doing outreaches. I told you, the men, women, don't go to the street and go and put canopy and share food. It's a waste. Because none of those people will come for the convention. You know, there are some wasteful things we have done. I just feel it's a waste. And I'm beginning to learn from them. Because of the way people behave. I say go to camps and give those food and set a bus, and those people will come for the convention. The last 2 years, we did one in one location here. We shared wrapper. Nobody from that place came in for the convention. So people are calling you kind, but you are being foolish in your kindness. It doesn't make any sense to me anymore. So if we want to go away from those kind of things, whether leaders you give power to and they abuse it, people you care for and they abuse it, we must check now who we give power to. You must check who you give power. Somebody who is offended all the time when you talk to a person should be out of power. Somebody who you give power and is offended when he's being corrected should not have power anymore. Should not be, you take it away from his hands or from my hands. It's not your right. It's something I asked you to do something for me. I'm the one who is supposed to do that, but I cannot be everywhere. So I ask you to go and represent me. And every time I speak to you, you have a reason not to do that thing. Then you are telling me that you are not supposed to be there. So it's the same thing with the people we are trying to raise. We raise people, we will do everything for them, and then one day you just see them, they are out of the system, and they want you to start all over again. They don't consider where you met them. They consider where they have arrived. And it's playing in every dimension of ministry today. So we need to invest wisely. Do I see this man in 10 years in this place? In 5 years in this place? If this man is refused over something, will he still be here? In case you don't hear from God, you can see the actions of the person. What sacrifice is this person willing to make for this work? Without hearing from God, leave God first. Can this person make a sacrifice with his family for this work? When you don't see all of that, why investing your emotions and monies and time for those kind of people? Those are passerbys. People that can open their mouth and say anything about the work, that can ignore the work that raised them and go elsewhere to go and work, that has something to say negative about the system where that raised them. You should be conscious about that. So you must be conscious of what you do with your investment. Because remember that the man who will be poor at the end is not the poor man in church, he's the pastor who did not plan for the future of that ministry. He will beg for bread at the end of the day. You can have 20 million today and invest on people, and in 1 year he doesn't have money to spend again. And those people will not give him back monies. They will not remember that he has not eaten. Those same people will not know that he has not eaten. But he can't tell them, and they will not know. So it's a very dicey situation that is happening to the church, and particularly pastors and their family, and the leaders people keep around them as leaders in church. So we need to start praying as Jesus prayed, and select as Jesus selected. And the purpose of those people being selected is that Acts chapter 1, Acts chapter 2, Acts chapter 3 will be produced when Jesus is gone. He did not bring them so you can feed them all his life. He brought them so when he's no more there, the work will continue. But today, pastors are doing things to please people instead of pleasing the work tomorrow. So I've learned my lessons. I'm not pleasing people anymore. I'm pleasing the future of this work. Jesus' pattern is what I discovered. He didn't feed them so they can, even when they were off, he brought them back. Your business here is to continue what I have built. That's why you are here, is to continue it. And that is what he came for. He didn't get the 12 so they can marry and have children. The problem of having them is to continue the labor of his 3 years on the earth. So if we have that at the back of our mind, we will produce healthy people, healthy leaders that will glorify God in the labors of the kingdom.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, this one says, good morning, sir. My name is Rita from Port Harcourt. Please, I have a debate in my hostel concerning a male friend of mine. We usually talk on phone at night, but My roommate feels it is not proper and says he could be sleeping instead. I explained that he works during the day while I also have classes in the morning, so night is the only time we really can talk. Even when I try calling him in the morning, he usually sends me a PDF book to read or gives me an assignment related to my career to work on. He also tells me that the morning is usually for work and learning, while the night is for thinking and reasoning. In this kind of situation, what should I do?
Is the person a husband or what?
Friend.
And that's his life. It's a good life. Why are we always not appreciating people who have patterned their lives? That's a very beautiful life. I like that kind of life. He's not an irresponsible fellow. He wants to achieve something for his life. So he has drawn out a plan on how to lead that life. So you support it. Why wouldn't you support that kind of life? Why? You should support the life and encourage him to do it, because that's a life that can make him a governor, can make him president of a country, because there's a system that leads you to power, and he has it. That's the kind of life that will make that guy own an industry. That's it. Life does not just happen to people. It does not happen to people. It doesn't. There's no... It doesn't happen. It doesn't just happen. I can tell you a young girl or a young boy who will end up a housewife. I can tell you a young girl who will not end up a housewife. A boy who will end up very outstanding, the whole world will hear of. I'll tell you a man who will just live in a location for the rest of his life and live in a house with a wife and look for a small. It's you. Your outstandingness is you. It's nobody will give you that. So he has brought himself to a training, which to me is morning is for work, night is for reasoning. What a pattern. What a pattern. And that's how greatness is found. So to me, let the lady support that and make sure that boy succeeds with it. That's all I have to say about that.
Now, before we take the last question for this episode, I would like to extend a very warm hand of invitation to you this Thursday for our midweek service. It's going to be an amazing time in God's presence as we go through our pre-Rehoboth services this season. God's servant is taking us on the pathway to Rehoboth, and it has been very expository, especially what we have in the last service, identifying for us the certain causes that hinders our testimonies even when we arrive at our levels above season. And to be part of this midweek service, it's on Thursday and it's for 4:30 p.m. We could also stream from the live streams that you are streaming this from on Honor TV, on the Strong TV decoder, on Facebook at Honor World International, on YouTube at Honor TV. And don't forget, you could catch up all the messages of God's servant on his YouTube platform, Maxwell Golden Egbe. The teachings are there and very profound. It will be very expository for you and your family, and of course your friends that you share them to. And don't forget, it's 4:30 this Thursday, the 21st of August 2025. We can't wait to receive you, and if you are in Asaba, take advantage of our bus schedule to be part of the service to and fro. Our hands of fellowship are also extended to you for our Sunday service this Sunday. It's also going to be an amazing time. The time is 7:30 a.m. and God's servant will be ministering live. And also, you could catch up all of these moments on your social media platforms to be part of the service. And don't forget to share your testimonies just as you share your questions on the comment section of our email. The testimony for the email for testimonies is honortestimonies@gmail.com. We know that the God of honor will always reach out to you when you be part of our services. And so we can't wait to have you. And again, the adverts will flow just after this episode, but I just want to re-echo it and resound it that the most colorful event is just at the corner. It's 20 days to Rehoboth 25. And so we want to inform you that you could be part of this event from wherever you are in the world. You could hook up live via our social media platforms, or why not make a trip make a planned trip to Rehoboth City. You won't regret it because accommodation and feeding is already catered for by God's servant. And also, if you're a minister and you're eager to grow and to know what it takes to be as successful as our Father, then also make your way down here to Rehoboth City. It's the 7th of September through the 14th of September 2025. 2 sections every day and a breakout section by 12. The first section, the morning belt, is for 7 a.m. and the second section, the evening belt, is for 4:30 p.m. And of course, the breakaway sections for ministers, for youths, for pastors, entrepreneurs, expected mothers, and even those who desire to receive God's healing is for 12 noon every weekday. And don't forget, it's going to be your season of levels above. We can't wait to receive you, so be part of this event, and God bless you as you do so in Jesus' precious name. Now we'll take the last question for this episode, and this is from Cyprus. This is good. She says, good morning. This is Lovett from Nicosia, Cyprus. Please, sir, what advice would you give a young entrepreneur who is starting a brand but experiencing slow growth even after hiring the best team?
Seeds on the ground will always grow trees. But you need to develop a constructive mind. And that constructive mind has to be an additional for an inner strength, which is your patience capacity. And then you stay there continually. One of the things that consistency does is like, it reminds you again and again to keep going there. Is that the team will not succeed without consistency. So if the team wants to succeed, then your ability to be consistent must be the reason for the success. And everybody has a TikTok page, everybody has a Facebook page, everybody has an Instagram page, and the interest, everybody is doing an online classes, online teaching. The nonsense I see is much. And they have big nonsenses everywhere. But even in that nonsense, if you're consistent in it, you will start having results. But when I hear them talk, the nonsense is much. The nonsense is much. The nonsense is too much. Because the person who is giving you that counsel has not been able to lead 2 people. So the nonsense is much. And but if the nonsense continues for 10 years, you may end up succeeding. The reason why I won't be able to sit in front of a camera and be talking all the time is because I'm impatient with that kind of thing. So I won't succeed in it. Or sit down and put the phone every morning I get up I won't succeed in it because I won't be consistent in it. Because I'm not created for that. Can I talk? I can talk without opening a book. I can sit down and reflect words and use them. I have the resources, but I don't have the patience. Because it is the patience that will work for me, not my resources. If I do something today and I don't do it tomorrow, I won't succeed in it. So if you do that, you're nonsense, and you're consistently doing it, you have the audience you desire, and the progress will come. So if nonsense can produce, how much more when it's not a nonsense? So it's clear to me that it is our boardroom of direction is tied to consistency. Be consistent, continue doing it, go back and be timely with it. If you're supposed to do something at 4 every day, make sure you're doing that thing at 4 every day. Let nature recognize that every 4 a.m. you are doing a certain thing with yourself. You see that habit is what creates the revenue. The team has nothing to offer if there's no consistency. If there's consistency, then the team will now produce the construction, which becomes the content that people will see. So that's where the progress comes from. Yeah.
Even though this question seems kind of similar from what God's servant has answered, but he has been begging me on this platform, on the Telegram platform, to please ask the question. This is from Jonathan. He says, good morning, Bishop. I was the one who asked the question about the Nigerian Super Eagles and the new coach at the time. So, Sam, and your reply to that question had helped me drastically in my business. So, sir, the question I want to ask today is, owing to the new Premier League signings and the startup, what's your take on teams who have performed absolutely well and teams who are still struggling even from preseason? How do you think they can bounce back, or what do you think they made as a mistake in some of the signings that they made?
Personnel is another problem. A system that has no vision will always have a problem. I've always tell the leader of the office, I said, structures are not to be altercated. Don't say because instruction was given to you and a structure was destroyed. There's a vision that a coach should have. He may be failing, but he has a vision. He will succeed. Because the vision supersedes talent. If you have a talent and I bring you to a team and I play you wrongly, you won't succeed. So the problem is not the talent. No matter the talents you have, and if they are wrongly used, that's still a problem. So but if there is a vision that a system has to run the season and tell themselves this is what we are going to do in this season, and they bring every player into a vision and say the player, this is how you will play, and allow them to play it, they will win the league. Even Brighton, even Sunderland that came into the Premier League, as if they have a vision, they'll win the league. It's not the best quality men that succeeds. It's the best team that succeeds. And it comes with a vision. The best team is produced because of a vision. And let's understand that an intelligent man does not progress anything, or a gifted man, he does not. He will only be outstanding at certain times, but he will not be outstanding always. A Messi in PSG did not win that UEFA Cup. But an outstanding coach with a vision came into the system, they won a UEFA Cup. So it's a vision and a team to play according to the vision of the coach. That is why if you have a vision and you are failing, continue the vision. Because that failure has nothing to do with the growth ahead of that team. Because failure will come to test the strength of the team. So if the coach does not know what he's doing, he will diverge to some other alternative. But if he knows, he will keep repeating that thing. It's that repetition. That's why Arsenal will always keep Arteta. He's not changing the system because he believes that that system will produce for him in the future. It will take time. It will take time. And I've seen some of the teams like Chelsea rebranding and getting themselves into a system. And that is the system that wins all manner of cups. So stay with the vision, not the gifted players.
Absolutely, stay with the vision and not the gifted players. So now we are concluding this episode, and such a wonderful wisdom and counsel shared in today's episode. I was tremendously blessed, and I know as well as you. And so I'm going to leave the floor now for God's servant to give his closing remarks and also bless us for our Quality Sounds Week.
Time is becoming, if you study the day, you notice that people don't sleep long anymore. Before you know it, there is morning. And before you know it now, today we'll get to 9. So it's clear that time is being compressed. And we should also learn that we should always walk to suit the compressment of time and do everything on time. Do everything you are asked to do on time. Because the way the day is no more elongated, the night is no more elongated. And let us know that every assignment you are giving, you should do it on time. There is timeliness right now on the earth. And let's work with it. And that is where you begin to get outstanding results, outstanding progress, because you are timely. You are not delaying things you're supposed to do. You're supposed to type, you will not type. You're supposed to do something, you will not do it. You can't supervise anything. You can't observe anything. You can't. And then you are full of excuses. And are you excusing yourself from how fast time is right now? Look at what people are producing. they've brought certain things into a chip. Some things now are in a small chip. That's to tell you how time has been compressed. They bring a lot of things now. The things we spend 2 hours to get, we can get them in 1 minute. The things before it would take us 5 days to achieve, people are achieving that in 5 seconds. Time has been compressed. Time, I'm repeating again, time has been compressed. And we must walk in line with that. You want to do something where you walk, they give you an assignment to carry out. Do that thing as if that's the last time you can ever walk. You have responsibilities to carry out. Do it as if you are taking time backwards, time will fight you. It's like a man who is using typewriter to type now, he's killing himself. Time is so compressed now that anything you do it on time. Don't feel I have more time to do this. I'll do it tomorrow. I will supervise tomorrow. At least I'm telling you, I have headache. Time is compressed now. The product out there, people are meeting up the market space right now as we speak. Stop wasting your time standing before your phone and all the time. You're before your phone all the time, before your phone all the time. Your brain is not working. And let me say this, you've never heard it before. If you take away reasoning, there's no time. Time is effective the way it is because people are using their heads now, not their minds. Yeah. An unreasonable person will be using time the way he likes. You will be so foolish and using time as if he owns it. Unreasonable person. And let us understand that all these things we are seeing being produced is somebody's idea. Somebody sat down and produced that chip. Somebody just sat down and said, I can do this thing better. And produce something that will not take people's time. Brought the ATM card. Now we can use our phone to do transfers. That is somebody's idea. That phone you're holding 24 hours is somebody's idea that he sat down to think and produce and gave to you to waste your life with it. And people are too proud. People are bold to keep holding that phone instead of sitting down to reflect over their jobs and check it. What did I do yesterday? How can I add today? How do I add it? What do I do? And then I had 2 hours. How can I bring this thing to 2 minutes? It's when you start thinking like that, that time will now be compressed. And I wish I bless the week and I ask that the Lord will rest upon everyone who hears the sound of my voice. In Jesus' name.
Amen. As God's servant said, that we must put reasoning to time. And when you do that, you become the best gift that the world has ever seen. Now don't forget, don't take reasoning out of time and don't pursue money with time. Money doesn't buy time, but time makes money. This is why we say life is beautiful. And you, my friend, can handle it. We'll see you on Friday when Gospel Manager returns. Enjoy your week.
God has kept a season for us. The seed has been stirred, and we are ready. We have been ready since September last year, and God has given us choicest men of God, like my father in the Lord, Pastor David Ibiome, Bishop David Abiyoye, Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, and Apostle Lawrence Achidume. All these men are seasoned men of God, and all the guested artists that will be here. Don't miss Rehoboth 2025 team levels above. You are invited all over the world. Prepare yourself to travel down. We have guests from America. We have guests coming all the way from Cameroon. Be a part of the guests within Nigeria. We have a place for you to stay. We have massive revenues for your rest. Don't forget, When God prepares, you must attend. When God prepares, you must attend, and your outcome will be transformation. I hope to see you at Rehoboth 2025 from the 7th and the 14th of September. And we have morning sessions from 7, we have 12 evening sessions, and we have evening sessions from 4:30. Don't forget, be a part of what God is doing in the midst of his people. God is beautiful, and he has given us a privilege, and I am expecting all of you, the men, the women, the youths, to be a part of it. Online, offline, I want to tell you that the best will surely hit your camp. Be blessed.
It's Rehoboth Sales Bonanza! Rehoboth Sales Bonanza is going to take place all through the event at Rehoboth 2025.
Yes, we're calling on all business owners. Come and register your businesses. The forms are available at the Presidency at Honor World International. Registrations are ongoing. Register and exhibit your items at very slashed rates.
We are talking about food items, cooked foods,
Beverages,
clothes,
market stores,
shoes,
real estate agents,
hair,
landed properties,
makeup.
Come and sell on slash prices and come and shop at very minimal rates.
Anything sellable, anything displayable.
Yeah, and don't forget that the bookstore is open to sell to you your daily release devotional, the books of the ministry materials, and don't forget our t-shirts are fast selling out. Go to the bookstore, get your t-shirts. We have them available at all levels.
We have these t-shirts in different colors, different styles, and different sizes.
Levels above,
Heaven on earth, levels above.
Yay! Is the next colorful event. Rehoboth 2025 is almost here, happening live here at Rehoboth City from Sunday the 7th to Sunday the 14th of September 2025.
Streaming live on all social media platforms that's displayed on your screen. And that's not all. We're going to be having free food for campers. Who doesn't like free food? Free food for all campers. And here it gets more interesting. You can actually come shop for free. Free food items, free clothing apparels, free shoes, back to school packs, and everything free. From Monday the 8th to Friday the 12th of September 2025. We have 2 sessions, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. It gets even more exciting. Your attendance at Rehoboth 2025 gives you a ticket to everything free. Who doesn't like free things? Our wolf is sweet, oh!
If you are a church founder or a minister of the gospel, please endeavor to register online on the link displayed on your screen. Your online registration covers your free accommodation, free feeding, free transportation, and any other logistics required for your trip. But registration closes on Sunday, 10th August 2025.
That's not all. There will be free medicals free for every attendee from Monday the 8th to Friday the 12th of September 2025. There will be ophthalmologists here to check your sight, to give you medical glasses for free, to give you your eye medications and everything you need, your blood pressure, your sugar level. There will be lab scientists to test you. Whatever it is you have as a medical concern, it will be handled for free at Rehoboth 2025. Come on now, everything is free. It's raining free at Rehoboth 25. Is you that will be left out, or come and join this train. See you at Rehoboth 2025, where everything is free. Levels above,
Heaven on earth, levels above.
God is not a respecter of persons. If you are right, you will be right. If you are wrong, you will be wrong.
Life is of no value if you are not living it for Christ.
Closeness to God is a choice. It's open to all.
To accomplish your goals, you've got to decide what you want.
Material things must lose value in your sight for you to control it.